Okay. Satnam, and welcome to our Friday evening meditation series, Dealing with Daily Stress. This is week 2 in our series. If you missed our intro class, we talked a little bit about proper posture, breathing, and just some very general guidances as to how we want to sit and hold ourselves physically to receive the benefits of these meditations. If you missed that class, you can check it out on my website, wavesofmeaning.com. And this week, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the mind. Dealing with daily stress, we talked about that meditation is really achieving those 3 things. We're helping to relax the physical body, which we did in week 1, to release the overactive mind, to release those thoughts that are haunting us, that are creating frustration, stress, to let those thought patterns go. And then finally to reconnect, to feel that essence of who we are, our soul, that spirit within us. And so this week we're going to be focusing on how do we release the overactive mind. Maybe you can remember when you were in school, all the things that you learned from history, geography, math, science, music. We learned so many things, but not one class was dedicated to the mind, to understanding who we are and how this mind of ours is working. And so we just kind of move on and move through our lives, not really understanding our mind, but we just go with it. We get this thought and that thought comes into our consciousness. Sometimes we like it, and sometimes we just want those thoughts to leave. And so the question comes, what are these thoughts? Where do these thoughts come from? And a very simple explanation in the yogic philosophy is that these thoughts of ours are not ours. It is similar to fishing in the ocean. The fish that are in the ocean are not ours, but when we cast that lure in, we catch one. Sometimes we'll catch one. And that fish is like a thought. Thoughts are all around us in a subtle energetic form. And sometimes we catch one. We bring it into our consciousness, we can expand it. It kind of leads on to the next thought. But this idea of where do these thoughts come from? And what are these thoughts? Well, just like when you're fishing in the ocean, you have to choose a place to fish. Are you going to fish on the shore? Go out on a boat onto the water? And so wherever you stand, wherever you are fishing from, will kind of determine the types of fish that you can catch. It is not a guarantee, but we limit, or we're trying to narrow the scope as to what we're trying to catch when we choose that starting point. And when we relate that to ourselves, the way we carry ourselves, the way we live our lives, how we hold our physical posture, that will determine what kind of thoughts we're going to catch and draw into our consciousness. But this is just a very general overview, a framework, a philosophy of what these thoughts are. What we want to work on today is what happens when we have that thought pattern, that chain of thoughts that is drawing us out of ourselves, drawing us back into the past, or so far into the future that we start to get worked up. Well, how can this be? How can I achieve that? What if this happens? How am I going to figure that out and solve this problem? Because with these thoughts, when they start to pattern and one thought leads into the next, we lose our sensitivity. We lose connection with our intuitive wisdom. And so, to understand the mind, to understand ourselves, we need a basic understanding of how this mind of ours is working. In yoga, we understand that the mind is really three functional minds that are working almost seamlessly together. There's negative mind, positive mind, and neutral mind. And these are not good and bad qualities of the mind. They're just simply relating and expressing what the mind is doing as it is kind of deciphering and figuring out the situation that we find ourselves in, so that we can process through that challenge, whatever obstacles in front of us, whatever task we have in front of us. These three functional minds are working to understand the whole of the situation, to not get focused in on one little part, but to understand from a larger perspective. And ideally, what we are trying to achieve is once the mind has gone through the negative, gone through the positive, we want to arrive at a neutral place. We call it the neutral mind, because that's the balance point that gives us the true direction, the true actions, the true words that we need to speak now to create the best result for ourselves and all those in the situation. And this neutral mind is exactly what we call intuition. So today we're going to be doing just a few exercises to kind of loosen up this upper part of the spine, the chest, the neck, the back of the neck, the shoulder blades. We hold so much tension back there. So we're just going to relax this upper part of the body, and then we're going to do a few meditations to help create that release, to help let go of those thoughts that aren't serving us anymore. And so we can just find ourselves into a comfortable seat. Once again, you can do this sitting in a chair, or if you find yourself on the ground, just make sure that these sitting bones, the hips are level, the legs can be crossed, or we can sit on the heels and rock pose. If you're on a chair, just have your soles of your feet flat on the ground. Lengthen the spine up gently, chin is slightly tucked in, chin lock, and allow these shoulders to relax back and down. And before we begin, we'll take a few long and deep breaths from that navel point. Remember that navel point is just below the belly button, in at the core of the body. So as you inhale, feel the breath at that navel point, draw the breath in, feel the breath rise from the bottom of the lungs, filling the lungs all the way up to the top. And as you exhale, gently release that. Let the breath go and keep these shoulders and face relaxed. Take just a few more long and deep breaths to center yourself. Let go of the day and be very present. Feel your body, sense what's going on. And you can continue to breathe long and deep, or you can join us in tuning in with the Adi Mantra. We'll chant Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And this mantra is simply bowing with reverence to the to the infinity that exists all around us, Om. And we're bowing to the divinity within us. And this sound combination is just helping to establish that stillness through which our intuitive wisdom can guide us in our class, so that we can push ourselves just the right amount without going too far, so that we're safe and we're always healing and not hurting ourselves. So breathe long and deep, relax the shoulders, the face, and slowly we can draw these palms together now in front of the heart center, press these thumbs into the sternum, and we'll tune in chanting Om Namo with a short little sip in between. Guru Dev Namo. We'll chant 3 times. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale deep. Exhale. And we'll inhale to tune in. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo And suspend this breath in, chin stays slightly tucked in. Hold this breath for a moment, then gently exhale. Release the hands, relax the shoulders, the face. And just take a moment to be in that stillness. Breathe consciously. Feel that breath at the navel point. And we can use that silent mantra as we breathe. Sat, S-A-T, truth. As we inhale, you can mentally vibrate that sound. And Nam, N-A-M, identity, as you exhale. And when we have this silent mantra on our breath as we move through these exercises, it'll help to keep us very focused, very present. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And starting very simply, we'll do one of these first exercises that we learned as a child when we did something wrong and someone asked us, what happened? Well, I don't know. Shoulder shrugs, we call them. Inhale up, exhale, let them drop. And just keep up, we'll go for just 1 minute. Inhale up, exhale, let the shoulders drop back. And this is an amazing exercise we can do to help release that tension in the neck, the shoulders. Keep up. Remember to breathe into that navel point as you lift up. Exhale to drop them down and relax. And just another 20 seconds or so. Inhale, lift up. squeeze tight, squeeze every muscle, chin tucked in, squeeze tight. Exhale. And just let yourself relax for a moment. Relax the shoulders, the face. And we can already feel how this simple movement has started to increase the circulation a little bit. It's starting to release these tense muscles in the neck, the shoulders. And we can do these exercises anywhere. Sitting at a computer, driving in the car, but maybe you have to be stuck in traffic or something. But you can do them almost anywhere. Sitting on the plane. And our second exercise for today will be very simple. Hands are going to come onto the shoulders, just doing your best to get them here. And we're going to inhale to lift up, exhale to lower back down. So as we inhale, lift up, maybe the backs of the wrists will touch, elbows point up, exhale, come back down. But as you inhale up, try not to push your head forward. So if we can only move a little bit, that's perfect. If we can move a lot, that's good too. But we'll just go for 1 minute. Remember to breathe from this navel point. Inhale to lift up, exhale to lower. Remember to go at your own pace. You can move faster. You can move a little bit slower. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. And the chin slightly tucked in, stretch the spine up, pull up, lift up, exhale, relax. And just take a moment, be very still, and really feel the body. Sense the spine, sense the weight of the body, feel where the weight of the body is. Is it even in the sitting bones? And without any judgment, without any reasons to why you feel the way you do, just notice. And then bring that mantra, that silent mantra back in. Inhale, Sat. Exhale, Nam. And just this final little warm-up stretch that we can do before we do our meditations. Our neck rolls, but we want to be very careful when we do this. We don't have to do them deep. We can do very small neck circles just to help to release that neck. Keep the shoulders relaxed down. As you inhale, drop one ear towards your shoulder. Inhale, slowly moving the head back in a circle. And exhale as the chin comes forward and through towards the chest. Inhale back. Exhale forward, and just doing a few circles in one direction first. Inhale back, exhale forward. Relax the shoulders. Relax the face. Just a few more in this direction. There's no rush. Take your time. Be very gentle with yourself. And gently reverse it. Go the opposite way. Remember to inhale as the head moves back, exhale as you move forward, and breathe consciously in the navel point. Keep the focus of the breath there. And just last few cycles. And now inhale to the center, chin slightly tucked in, stretch up. Exhale, relax. And so to help release these thoughts that we have, the most effective tool we have is mantra, sound vibration. We won't be using a mantra today. We're going to be working with the second most positive, the second most powerful tool that we have, and that's our breath. So mantra, that sound vibration, when we chant a mantra, even silently, that energetic force is coming up and it's cutting the thought pattern, helping to create that stillness. And when we use our breath, we're consciously starting to activate one of the nervous systems. Whether it's the sympathetic nervous system to get us a little bit more excited, more prepared for an action, or the parasympathetic nervous system to help us relax. Through conscious breath and through specific breathing patterns, we can trigger these nervous systems on command to suit the situation that we find ourselves in. The breathing patterns that we're going to be using today are to help us strengthen the navel muscles so that we can breathe a little bit deeper, because when that breath is deep and consistent, then the nervous system is more at ease. When the breath gets a little shallow and rapid, we automatically trigger that sympathetic response and the body gets tense. So we're just going to develop these breathing muscles today to help relax the body and maintain that state of harmony. We're going to be using a breathing pattern called breath of fire. And breath of fire is a continuous breath where we focus on the exhale. We pull the belly, the navel in towards the spine. This pushes a little air out of the lungs. And when we relax this belly, it draws the breath back in. It's not a complete breath, but it's a burst. It's a continuous burst of air that starts to cycle the air in the lungs, bringing in more oxygen, more vitality. And when we start this breath pattern, many things can happen before we get used to it. So the idea is not to force our way through breath of fire, but it's to experience it, to sense it, and just to get more comfortable with the rhythm of the belly and how it moves in that steady pumping motion, bumping and relaxing movement. Before we do our meditation, we'll just take 1 minute to practice this breath of fire, and then we have a specific meditation to do with breath of fire. So you can come sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are relaxed back, chin slightly tucked in, and these hands can just be resting on the knees, or we can take Gyan Mudra, index finger and thumb tip are touching, hands are just resting on the knees. Or if we're very new at this, you can even bring your hand onto your belly to feel how the belly is pulling in as the breath is moving out. So inhale, and then just feel that you can pull the belly in, and it will press the air out, and then relax the belly, and then it will pull the air back in. It doesn't matter how fast the rhythm is. If we're starting out Try to go a little bit slower to get a feel for it. And then when you get comfortable, you can pick up the pace. But the goal is not to go as fast as possible. It's just to create a steady rhythm. Just another few seconds here to practice. Inhale deeply. Chin slightly tucked in, shoulders are relaxed. Exhale. And so the meditation that we'll do, that we can do every day, and it's especially good to do in the morning before we start our day, just taking a few minutes. We're going to do it for 4 minutes today, but you can do it for a shorter period of time. The meditation is doing breath of fire with each of the fingers. So we're going to do it for 1 minute like this. Arms are straight, resting on the knees. After a minute, we'll seamlessly change to the next finger. And then after a minute, we'll change once more. And 1 more minute, we'll change for the final time. So in total, we'll do 4 minutes, 1 minute on each finger. Because this breath of fire, as it's helping to balance and strengthen these nervous systems, we're specifically now targeting the different areas of the brain, because our brain and our fingertips are related and connected. So starting in Gyan Mudra, index finger, thumb tip are touching, we'll go for 1 minute, and then I'll say change. And now we change to the next finger. But we can do it for 30 seconds on each finger, all the way up to 7 minutes on each finger. So when you're doing it at home, you choose whatever length of time you want. Just keep it equal on each of the fingers and see what happens. Remember to listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, just let this breath pattern go. Breathe normally until you feel ready to start again. If you feel ready to start again. Sitting up nice and tall, hands come into Gyan Mudra, index finger and thumb tip are touching. And just for 1 minute, we'll begin on this index finger. Inhale to begin. And now switch fingers, second finger. Remember to relax the shoulders, the face, chin slightly tucked in. Change fingers, ring finger. Change fingers, pinky. And now bring your fingers back onto the index finger. Inhale deep. Chin tucked in, stretch the spine tall, suspend the breath in for a moment, stretch up, hold the posture, exhale. Suspend the breath out for a moment. Inhale deep. Suspend the breath in, stretch up, chin tucked in. Exhale, relax. Relax the breath, the shoulders, the face. And just take a moment. Notice what's happening inside. So breath of fire again is helping to really strengthen these navel muscles, to realign that navel point so that that breath can be steady, smooth. The breath pattern itself is massaging the internal organs, very good for cleansing the body. But again, we need to do every day. Because just doing it once, we'll feel it, we'll notice what's happening, but to really receive the benefits, we need a consistent practice. Inhale deeply, exhale. Now this next meditation, we'll use breath of fire again, not necessarily, but we can work towards incorporating it. And it's going to be a more dynamic meditation with the arms moving a little bit. Again, the fingertips are connected to different areas of the brain. And so we want to keep these fingers very tensed for this meditation. It's called breath of fire with the lion's pause. And so the movement is with the arms are extended like this. Inhale here. As we exhale, we bring these arms overhead as we bend the elbows a little bit, creating this halo shape. Inhale back out. Exhale, just crossing the arms a little bit the opposite way now. Inhale out, exhale to cross. And we're going to build the pace of this movement. So it's a fast movement, but just be careful with the shoulders if you have shoulder injury or tightness. And we're inhaling out, exhaling to cross. And we'll go for about 2 minutes. And if the movement feels comfortable, you can start to move more powerfully, breathe more powerfully, and you can really go for it. If the movement is not right or something doesn't feel right, just go slowly. Because just moving these arms like this is moving the lymphatic fluid all in the upper chest, helping to cleanse, detoxify the body. And this movement is helping to cleanse that energetic field, that aura, to release these thoughts, to create that clarity of the mind. In just about another minute, 30 seconds, start to pick up the pace if it feels alright. Keep the fingers tense as you move. Keep going. Stick the tongue out. Keep breathing through the nose. Inhale, draw the tongue back in. Hold the arms above the head. Inhale deeply, suspend this breath. Keep the fingers tense. Exhale, hold this posture. Inhale deep again. Hold the posture, tense the fingertips up, chin's tucked in, spine tall. Exhale. Last time, inhale deep. Hold, stretch the spine. Exhale, relax. Breathe consciously, feel the breath at this navel point. And just experience how you feel after doing these movements. It builds a little bit of heat. Maybe a little sweat will come. But it's so important that we sweat every day to help cleanse the body, the skin, the toxins out, to help create that powerful circulation, because ultimately what's happening is that when the circulation gets poor, that's when diseases start to set in. But if we can just increase and boost that circulation of the body, then the body's natural healing wisdom will come through and the body will heal itself. We just need to create the right environments, physically, mentally, and that spirit shall shine through. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, for moving through these exercises with me. If you have any questions or comments at all, please leave it in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. And any questions that you have, I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if there's any topics that you'd like to be discussed, please suggest a topic for us, and then we can make a video in the future. You can always connect with me through Facebook, Instagram, my website, wavesofmeaning.com. And we'd love to see you join us in class. Once again, thank you so much for following us through these exercises. And it is my prayer that you feel peaceful inside, that you can spread that peace to someone you see, so that in this way, one by one, we can spread that peace to all corners of this globe. In our prayer that peace shall prevail, God willing, let peace prevail upon this planet. Satnam.